Wait.
Yeah, he's recording right now.
Anyway, so you already chugged yours, right?
No, I have not chugged it.
Dude, you haven't even started?
At least drink half.
Yeah.
Okay.
Drink some. All right, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the Overanalyzed podcast we put up once a year when we remember to review a movie. This episode's a little special because we are drinking... What are we drinking, guys? Red's Apple Ale. Exactly.
Hopefully they pick us up for like advertisement, because right now we're just advertising them for free.
Yeah, that's gonna... Yeah, we're not gonna get advertisements on this.
We're trying to make some swag money.
They can reimburse me for this.
They'll give you if you take the recycling place, Red's Apple will reimburse you for the recycling tax. 5 cents.
Well, at least that's something.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, so this podcast, we're going to be talking about first, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, the 9th Tarantino movie. And then we're going to be talking about It, Chapter 2, the second of the It franchise. So, we're going to be doing a spoiler-free review first.
Very
then
quickly,
spoilers.
very briefly.
Sorry, say that again?
Very quickly, very briefly.
Exactly. Again, spoilers. Also, very quick and very briefly, because we actually want to talk about It Chapter 2. Because we have more to talk about there. All right, cool. Anyway, so what did you think of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
What did I think about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
9th Tarantino film. Technically 9th, because we all know it's 10 total, because it was 10 releases for his films. Because he considers Kill Bill one movie, but it was 2 different releases.
Oh, so it is technically his 10th film.
Okay.
Technically, yeah.
Because there's Volume 1 and Volume 2, but they're released.
But he considers it just one movie.
Yeah, so it's technically his 10th release, because Kill Bill...
But we don't want to get demonetized. We'll just skip over that. Anyway.
All right, can someone hand me another beer? Let's all get another beer right now, all right?
I'm not even on what the... All right.
So we're going to open this one up, and this is going to be a little podcast beer opening ASMR. Ready? All right, we got to whisper real quick into the mic. Okay. 2, 1. Shh. Dude, someone just came listening to
Anyway, for those alcoholics out there, if you feel what I'm feeling, I'm probably not feeling the same thing if you're an alcoholic. I'm not an alcoholic. All right. So Jose saw the movie. You saw it by yourself?
Yes, I did go see it. No, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
Yes.
Yeah. No, I saw that with my bandmates, Michael and Lewis and Alex.
Right. Oh, so what do you think about the first part? It's an opening. They're at a bar. I like the part when he's like, "Don't cry in front of the Mexicans."
Oh, yeah.
I had laughed at that.
All right, real quick. Hey, how about... Okay, real quick, before we do anything, just quick review. Did you like it, yes or no?
I did like it.
I said, did you like it, yes or no?
I liked it. I feel like I liked it more than a lot of movies just because it was kind of like Hollywood history or like an homage to films in general.
Yeah. I liked it, but I think it's only because Tarantino's name is attached to it. If I didn't know Tarantino directed it, I would be like, hey, this person's kind of trying to direct like Tarantino. It's okay. It's not great, but since I know it's Tarantino, like I think, okay, it's pretty good.
Yeah, that was my first Tarantino film in theaters because I've never seen a Tarantino film. In theaters, yeah. But then before I was watching it, I was like, I didn't know what to expect. So I was like, it's a Tarantino film, so like expect a lot of style or like some funny shit, you know. Yeah. So it was,
you know what? That is my first Tarantino film in theaters too.
Yeah, I think that's probably mine too.
Damn.
You know what? We should see if we can find like a rescreening of stuff.
No, dude. I was talking to the dude at the Downtown Deli. By the way, shout out Downtown Deli in Hemet.
You probably won't be watching this, but you're in our hearts.
Yeah, you served some dope ass sandwiches, even though there's a little miscommunication. But I don't blame you. It happens. I worked at restaurants too. No problem. Anyway,
that lemon berry smoothie is very delicious.
Was it?
It was.
All right. But yeah, no, that guy that brought out sandwiches later, if you looked on the back of his shirt, it said Cliff Booth. Stuntman and talent agency or whatever. Oh. And I was like, hey, where'd you get that shirt? He said, at the theater. And it said like Beverly something.
Something cinema.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, and I saw it on 35 millimeter. I was like, oh, was it good? Because he was talking about, I think, Pulp Fiction.
He's like, the fuck you think? No.
He's like, yeah, it was good. I'm like, oh, cool. I got to check it out. So we can actually watch rescreenings there. We just got to look it up. Maybe not during the podcast. Maybe you guys could both put your phones down.
No, I was just silencing mine.
Oh, okay, cool. Never mind. Sorry. I didn't
mean to me out like that. Jesus.
I didn't mean to get aggro at you. Do chug that beer, though.
So, I guess now that we've done our quick little review, we can go into spoilers.
Yeah. But yeah, the part with, don't cry in front of the Mexicans. I was a little offended, but I was too busy laughing.
I wasn't really offended because it's like, it's just trying to be funny. I mean, he made a movie about slavery, so I can't really say much for one line.
Not just that, like in Pulp Fiction, he himself drops the N-bomb.
He dropped the N-bar a couple times.
Yeah.
Which is funny, though, because a lot of Tarantino cameos are funny, but in this one, he didn't have one, I don't think so.
That's true, huh? He didn't have one.
There
He
wasn't
didn't
a
have one.
Tarantino cameo?
No.
I guess when I think
Because
about
he
it,
was
I
in
didn't see him.
because he was in Reservoir Dogs as one of the people on the crew.
He was one of the characters.
Yeah, and then he was another character in Pulp Fiction.
And then in Jackie Brown, he had like a voiceover for a voicemail, but that's it.
I was gonna ask if he was in Jackie Brown, yeah. And then was he in Kill Bill?
Fuck if I remember.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
You know, it wasn't Kill Bill. His foot fetish.
Dude, no, I was telling my girlfriend like before the movie started. I was like, yeah. By the way, or like halfway through the movie because like they were lingering.
It
on
showed
a
like
shot.
a foot, and then you're like, I'll have to explain this.
I told her, I was like, listen, if you're wondering why there's like it's like staying on the foot too long, Tarantino, it's been long rumored / confirmed that he has a foot fetish. And then after that, she's like, I can't not notice it now.
It's something that you call out when you're watching a movie for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess I like the actors in this. You got Leonardo DiCaprio, and then you got Brad Pitt. Obviously, Brad Pitt's done films with him before, and Leonardo DiCaprio in what's it called, Django.
Yeah, dude,
Definitely a power couple.
Dude, when Brad Pitt like took his shirt off, like when he was doing the roof job, like on Leo's character, Rick Dalton's house.
Yeah,
I could hear the panties getting wet right there, like, huh.
You know what I think my favorite part was when Kurt Russell's the stunt coordinator or whatever.
Yeah.
And then they went to the flashback because he's on top of the roof thinking about why he's not wanted as a stuntman.
Yeah.
And then he goes back to when they're doing the Green Hornet. At first, it took me a while to understand, like, Green Hornet, but then like, the Green Hornet TV show because Bruce Lee was in it, right?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, Bruce Lee was in it. He was Kato.
Yeah, he was Kato.
And then it showed that scene where Kato and Cliff Booth, they have a little sparring match. That shit was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Oh, fun fact. That one lady, Kurt Russell's wife in the film, that's Zoe Bell. She was originally like a stunt woman for Tarantino, and then for that movie, she got upgraded to like the lead stunt coordinator.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool. She was in Death Proof. She was riding the hood of the car. Death Proof, it's an okay movie. I personally feel like it's better than Jackie Brown just because it's got like more action.
Yeah.
So there's that.
I didn't see Death Proof.
No, me either. I was gonna say a lot of people, and we're bringing this all way too late. That's why we did this one first because it's not as relevant. Even then, we're probably going to put this up late. So, Chapter 2, like the whole...
I think we're past the hype for it, Chapter 2.
Yeah, we're past the hype for a lot of these movies.
But we got it just in time for The Boys.
We got it barely in time for The Boys, yeah. There's still a little bit of hype for The Boys. I talked to people about it.
I mean, at the end, though.
Yeah, by the way, if you haven't checked out a review of The Boys...
It's up on the screen right now. Click if you want to see it. Otherwise, you just want to keep listening to us. Listen to our soothing voices, and we'll talk you through these next two movies.
Yeah, I also don't blame you if you haven't seen it. I've seen the views on it. These aren't getting views. This is just our therapy session where we talk about movies and our feelings. But what was going on about?
Wait, what feelings have we talked
about?
Oh, no,
okay, yeah, I was going to talk nothing. I was going to talk about the controversy about like Bruce Lee's like portrayal in the movie.
Oh yeah, that was like the only thing, but that's not that big. Luckily,
it's not that bad. I do get the frustration because I'm like, yeah, Bruce Lee wasn't like that. He wasn't really a hothead like that. Not like towards not at that stage of his career. Like
and then there was
there
was a thing where originally Tarantino wrote that Cliff Booth beats Bruce Lee, but then Brad Pitt was like, "Come on, man, it's Bruce Lee." So, in a way, it kind of ended in a draw or him losing.
Well, yeah, because Bruce Lee wins the first round, then he wins the second round, and then they don't have time for a third one.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think that was like a middle ground where Brad Pitt's like, "Come on, it's Bruce Lee," but Tarantino's like, "Nah."
Yeah, I like that. Although, dude, I was gonna tell you, I don't want to name names because you might know him, but there was a dude that I was working with on the night crew that was telling me like, "Yeah, I can't fight in here anymore." I'm like, "Yeah, you can't fight anyway. It's assault." And he's like, "Nah, it's because like my hands registered weapons because I do like I did boxing and jiu-jitsu. So if I beat someone in a coma, I get in trouble." I'm like, "Yeah, you do that anyway." Yeah, it reminded me of that line when like Bruce Lee's like, "My hands are registered weapons. If I kill you by accident, I go to jail." It's like, you kill anyone by accident, you go to jail. It's called manslaughter.
Yeah. No. He's like, anybody kills anybody, they go to jail. It's called manslaughter. And then the guy smoking next to him is just kind of nodding like, yeah, it is.
Dude, I had that exact moment. And then I did like the office thing where like you look off to camera like away. Yeah. I was just like, I got to remember this and tell people.
Yeah. I think probably my favorite interaction of the different characters in the movie were probably Dalton and the little girl.
Oh yeah. Yeah, when he was doing the show Lancer. Yeah.
Yeah. And then, like she's reading a book, then he's reading a book, and he's like, and then he gets emotional. He's like, "Yeah, it's about a cowboy that's past his prime," and he's just crying.
Yeah, because because it's very relatable to him. And then the girl's like, she said something, and then he's like, "Don't worry, in something years you'll be living it."
Oh yeah, you'll be living it.
Yeah. And then like she tries she tries comforting him, and he's like, "Oh, thank you, sweetheart," and she's like,
well, he says like pumpkin puss.
And he's like, "I don't like nicknames like that, but
But it's like, since you're grieving right now, I'm gonna let it slide. Yeah. Or no, she's like, we can talk about it later.
Yeah. And then like then they do the scene, and then he keeps messing up the line, and he has a freak out in the trailer.
Oh, you know what my favorite part was? When he was messing up, so they had to like put the camera back to like.
He had to like set it back to one.
Set it back to one, yeah.
It was so funny when
and
it happened.
Yeah, and then the shit after when he jumps in the trailer, he just throws his shit. Supposedly that was improv, so.
Yeah, and then the part was like, I'm not drinking anymore. Then he goes for the drink.
He drinks.
No.
He's like, fuck. He throws it out,
Yeah.
and then he's looking at the mirror. He's like, you fucked this up one more time, I'll blow your fucking brains out.
Dude, that is some very self-destructive self-talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. And then like he kills the next scene.
Yeah, he killed.
And then the little girls. And then like he throws the little girl on the floor like during the scene. And then like they cut the scene like that was great.
No. Before that, the guy was like, I want Hamlet, sexy Hamlet.
And they cut. And he's like, that was great. You don't need to take. We can like move on. And he's like, oh great. And then the little girl's like, that was the best acting I've ever seen. He gets emotional. He starts fucking crying.
He's like Rick fucking Dalton.
No, dude. My girlfriend kept like during those moments being like, "Quiere llorar." Then he'd crush like, "Oh shit."
I guess something that I noticed about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah.
I feel like Margot Robbie, she wasn't like used as much, but I feel like it's just to be more accurate to the the person of Shannon Tate. She was kind of just like a, you just see what she did, or like.
Well, I mean, that was the point. Is
yeah, I get it was the point, but I'm just saying,
It was probably the dull. It was the dullest
I felt like
part of the
she was gonna have more. Oh, like the Roman Polanski thing, remember?
Yeah.
I didn't know that at the time, but you said that like you had trouble looking at the character portrayal because.
Oh yeah, there's a reason why. You've heard about the Roman Polanski thing, right? By the way, have you seen the movie Chinatown?
Mm-mm.
He directed that movie.
And he was in it. He was the one that cut Jack Nicholson's nose.
Oh yeah,
that was him.
Yeah, he was in Chinatown, famous noir movie. Anthony made me and Zach watch it so we can do a podcast. And we never posted.
Rosemary's Baby.
Okay.
Yeah, he also did Rosemary's Baby.
I thought that's what you said.
Did he?
I might have. I don't remember.
I don't remember.
But yeah. So not long after that, and not long after Sharon Tate was murdered in real life, Jack Nicholson threw a party, and Roman Polanski drugged and raped a 14-year-old in his bathroom.
Oh. What'd you say she was drugged with?
I forget, but point is she was drugged and raped by Roman Polanski, and then before they could reach a verdict on the trial, he fled the country.
Oh yeah, he to this day still over there.
Yeah, still over there. He directed The Pianist from over there and won an Oscar.
The penis?
Yeah, Adrian Brody.
The pianist.
No, not The Penis. No.
I'm like, the penis?
Yeah, Adrian Brody went over there to film that.
Yeah, so that's why I had a little trouble whenever like they show Roman Polanski in the movie. I'm like, piece of shit.
When did they show him?
Oh, he was the one that was married to Sharon Tate.
With the frills, he was the one driving that one black car.
That guy?
Yeah. Not literally that guy.
Not literally that guy.
I know, not literally that guy, but I just mean like.
Yeah, he drugged and raped a 14-year-old.
I mean,
in Jack Nicholson's bathroom.
Yeah, I wouldn't have known that if you said it.
Yeah,
it's kind of like the same thing with the ending of it.
Which is why, like,
so
after the movie
he's
was
that little Polish guy.
Yeah. Which is why, like, after the movie, like, people were like fucking up like billboards in Hollywood, that the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood though, and then changing it to Once Upon a Time in Petalwood, and putting Roman Polanski's face, and then Epstein's face too. Have you heard about the Epstein thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Joel Epstein.
No. What's his name? Something
Rick Epstein. Paul Epstein.
John Epstein. Something Epstein.
I don't know. I was just
what? I can Google it.
Point is, if you don't know the Epstein thing, it's basically he had like a flight in a private. He had like a private jet in a private island where he basically had like a child prostitution.
Oh yeah, you did mention that. I don't remember what the name was though, but I remember you mentioned private island.
Yeah, that's what the Epstein situation.
Another...
Warren Epstein. That's what it was. Warren
Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein.
Okay. Anyway, but yeah, no, the Sharon Tate thing, like, she didn't have much to do, but I think that's just because the Tate family had to sign off on her being used in Tarantino's movie.
I mean,
and then Tarantino had to like find a middle ground.
A middle ground, yeah.
/ wanted to.
That's how movies work. Yeah, finding a middle ground.
Something that highlighted her life and like celebrated her and did.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. It was more like celebration. That's why like some people were like, I think some people in a way found it dull because maybe they didn't know Sharon Tate, so they wouldn't have like appreciated it as much as like her family.
Well, that's the thing is not many people know about like what happened to Sharon Tate, and people that do only know her for that, not her movies and everything.
Yeah, whereas when we watch the trailer, we see Margot Robbie's like, oh, she's gonna be another banger role, this and that, but we see what she did, and we're like, oh, okay, so it's kind of like, I mean, that's more what it is. It's just a celebration of her life. Or,
Yeah, but also I feel like you can't really get upset about the whole Margot Robbie like not having much to do. If you. No, I mean, not the Margot Robbie playing Sharon Tate and like it not being like true to history. If you enjoyed Django, Because like, what slave did that shit? You know, it's like a fantasy. It's historical fiction.
Yeah,
like where you rewrite some
like Man in the White Castle or Man in the High Castle.
Yeah. Or even,
Man in the White Castle selling cheeseburgers.
That's a good parody.
Kumar.
That's a good parody movie.
The Man in the White Castle.
Oh, but we don't have any White Castle here.
Yeah. All right, so let's wrap up the first movie. Final thoughts, you guys?
Well, hold on. Let's wrap up with the last scene.
So final thoughts.
No, hold on. We're gonna wrap.
Margot Robbie.
Let's talk about the last scene. Actually,
last scene.
Oh.
When they get raided by the Manson family because Cliff Booth kind of pissed him off.
Oh, that's definitely one of the final thoughts for sure.
Oh yeah.
She meets her end.
Oh, and then Rick Dalton and Cliff get drunk because it's their last hoorah together.
Yeah.
All this shit's happening, and then they're at the house. Oh, the acid cigarette. Cliff Booth got the acid cigarette. And
he's like, I'm gonna drop acid. I want it to be here.
Yeah, so he goes out to a walk. The Manson family goes up creeping, and then Rick Dalton's like, "Hey, it's a fucking private road." And he's just freaking out on them.
Yeah.
So yeah, they attack the house. Cliff Booth is on acid and he's just tripping out. And I'm just like, I was kind of cringing at it for obvious reasons, but I was like, how the fuck is he going to pull this off? Yeah. And then he did. He gets his dog to help him out, and then he throws the can at that one brutal. Bitch. Yeah.
And then Rick Dalton comes out, because he's still in the pool or whatever.
Oh, yeah. He's in the pool, and then that one chick crashes in his pool, and he just one thing goes through his head, so he goes to get the flamethrower.
Yeah, he just fucking fries her. Jesus.
Yeah, and then when Cliff got stabbed in the leg, so he goes to the hospital, and then he's talking to his neighbor. Was it Jay Sebring?
Yeah.
And he's telling us yeah, fucking hippies broke into the house. He's like, oh my god, really? Yeah, that shit was fucking funny. And then his wife Francesca, and yeah, that dog was getting beat. But I know at the end it said no dogs were harmed, but I just heard the impact. I'm like, poor dog.
Dude, that just means the ADR sound was on point.
On point, just fucking slapping me, bro.
Dude.
But yeah.
Yeah, final thoughts?
Oh, hold on.
Okay, never mind that.
And then at the end, I was like, oh, it just ends like that. But then I asked you, I was like, and then you told me, I was like, oh, the Manson family killed Sharon Tate and everybody in that house. I was like, oh, really? So then it helped me understand better the ending compared to other Tarantino films, like you said with what's it called, Inglourious Basterds, how at the end they kill all the Nazis. Yeah,
that's basically what it is. It's like a revisionist history.
Revision, yeah.
Because the way the Manson family dies, it's they were just nothing, nobody. Because after the Sharon Tate thing, it was a high profile thing. They got national headlines basically. Yeah. Whereas with this, it's just a crazy attack. Not even reported in the headlines. All that would be reported is 3 crazy people attacked. Were killed in a failed attack, and they wouldn't even they'd maybe mention names, but no notoriety would happen.
Yeah,
Charles Manson doesn't,
and then maybe Roman Polanski doesn't rape that girl. It's possible. It's possible. It's possible. Anyway, final thoughts.
Final thoughts.
1 out of 10 tacos. What's your rating?
1 out of 10 tacos.
No.
7 carne asada tacos, and 3 lengua tacos.
Fucking bitch.
I don't know the conversion rate here. How about out of 69? What do you rate this movie? Because the year it takes place is in 69.
Out of 69 tacos.
By the way, sure. By the way, real quick, they don't get murdered in that house. I think some of them get murdered. Then Sharon Tate gets taken back to the Manson Ranch or whatever, and then murdered there.
Oh wow. Well, I would give it probably 50 tacos.
50 tacos.
Let's say that's a solid.
All right, let's give that a letter grade.
Solid B plus.
I would say that's a solid B plus.
Solid B plus.
I would give it a good 60 tacos. Let's say that's an A minus.
I'd give it a 61 tacos, A minus as well.
I like how you just have to.
Yeah. That's what. Just like that.
All right, guys. So we're gonna go ahead and take a little break for our sponsor.
So we're here with Red's Apple Ale.
Don't you ever step on my fucking bit again.
Don't you ever fucking
step on my fucking bit again. All right? If I tell you to improvise and I give you the look off camera, I'll do it.
There's no fucking camera. You fucking bitch.
I was going to do this thing where I step away from the mic and go what's that? We don't have any sponsors? All right, guys. So that was our sponsor, Reed.
Oh, let's give a quick Netflix or any streaming service recommendation.
Okay, so I watched the first episode of Top Boy, but apparently it's the first episode of the 3rd season, so I don't know if I'm going to keep watching it now.
His recommended is Top Boy on Netflix. Jose?
Honestly, the first episode was pretty good, though.
I would recommend The Spy.
On
What's that on?
On Netflix.
The Spy on Netflix.
The Spy. I'm not sure who all is in it.
Give us a quick run through. Not run through, but just a plot explanation.
But a quick overview is the Israeli equivalent of the CIA needs an agent inside Iran.
Yeah.
And it goes It goes over the life of one of their agents. It's based on a true story.
Oh wait, that's one with Sacha Baron Cohen, right?
Is that who's in it? I guess so.
The dude that played Borat?
That sounds about right. But yeah, no, it's very intriguing.
That's Sacha Baron Cohen.
Very intriguing for sure. You'll laugh, you'll cry, mostly cry, but there you have it.
All right, my recommendation is on Amazon Prime Video. We got a lot of bangers there, The Boys including, other shows as well. I want to recommend Undone. It's 8 episodes.
That's the one with Rose Salazar, right? The one that was in the lead.
Rose Salazar, yeah. It's got that guy from Better Call Saul.
Oh, Bob Odenkirk.
Bob Odenkirk.
He was also in...
Is that the bald guy?
He's the lawyer.
Yeah.
Oh, the guy that plays the lawyer. Okay.
Yeah, he was Saul. He was also Marshall Erickson's boss in How I Met Your Mother.
Anyway, and then it's also got Tyler Hoot, not Tyler Hoochin. Who's the other guy from Teen Wolf? The main character.
Brian Posen?
Brian Posen. Yeah, it was him. He's like a church pastor. He's not like a main character.
He was the one that turned into a wolf, right?
He's the main character.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
And then it's called Undone. It's got 8 episodes, 30 minutes per episode. It's about a girl who gets in a car accident and then realizes she's got like some sort of special ability. She's trying to not bring her father back to life, but she's trying to like kind of alter the timeline so she can find out who killed her father. And it's kind of a mixture of rotoscoping, filming, and then animation along with like drawing and stuff. So it's actually pretty cool.
Welcome back after that sponsored ad read. We are now going to be talking about all together now, boys. 3, 2, 1. It Chapter 2. Jose, you were so fucking late. You didn't even say it.
Sorry, my bad.
What were you doing?
I was definitely Instagramming.
Like someone specifically, or just browsing?
Fuck you think it was?
You were actually DMing somebody.
I mean, it was a dude.
Remember, you need consent. No.
Was it? No, hold on. Was this about the thing that we have planned for later? Not for the podcast, but for ourselves personally?
No.
What was this about?
Just.
Was it thanking a fan for coming to the show?
Might have been.
That's fine.
All right.
Because if it was just bullshit that doesn't better us, then I'm going to have to call you out on that and call you a little distraction.
All right, so first thoughts about It Part 2 trailer. You saw the trailer?
I saw one of the trailers. I thought it was pretty cool. I was intrigued. Honestly, I liked with the first trailer when I saw the casting. I was like, damn, all these people look like the older version of these like child actors from the first movie.
Yeah. The only one I didn't agree with for casting, I think would say, what's his name? The fat kid.
Oh well, that's actually that's actually in the book.
I know, but it's just I didn't.
You didn't see you didn't like see the face.
I didn't know he was, and I didn't really see the face match. That's just it. Not that it's like not. I know he gets like more better and like less fat, but
it's not that he gets better. It's like he gets drop dead gorgeous. That's totally how it goes in the book.
He gets
But for the most part, I know Jessica Chastain. She'd been fighting ever since the first It came out. She's like, "I want to be fucking Beverly, bro."
And the studio's like, "Oh yeah, that's
all
a cash cow. Why don't we get her?"
It's like, all right, cool.
Bryce Dallas Howard wasn't answering our calls. Let's get her.
She's pretty hot though. Anyway, and then what's his name? Bill Hader. He was a pretty good one,
dude.
The only one that's kind of like whatever is kind of
James McAvoy.
James McAvoy.
I agree. I think they got him just because he's a good actor, not necessarily because he looked a lot like what's his name?
Bill.
I always forget his name. I know Stanley because he's a Jewish one. I know Richie because he's the funny one. Then I know Eddie because he's the scared one. And then obviously Ben, and then
Bev.
And
then Mike.
Yeah, the black kid.
Yeah, the only black member.
I feel ashamed that I have to say that, but there's no other way you would have known.
All right,
confirmed racist.
Nice. All right, so for your first impressions, quick spoiler-free review.
My first impressions, I saw the trailer, was pretty cool. Something I got common from people was like, oh, I don't know if I want to watch this movie. Like, they liked the first one, and I think the obvious reason why they liked the first one was because it included kids, right?
Yeah.
And they thought that shit was funny. And I was like, even with like the book, I want to say, and maybe with like the miniseries, that they just liked the kids a lot more. But that's just, I don't know, that's how it works. That's how Hollywood works. Stranger Things, they like the kids more.
Yeah, well, I mean, you literally have someone from Stranger Things.
But I mean, I wanted to watch the movie just because the actors along with them growing up. So I think it'd be cool. Kind of like how in Shazam, there's kids being played by older actors, and it's nice to see when they like try to act like the kids. It's two actors playing one character. That's what I like to see.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the translation of that.
By the way, speaking of which, the guy that plays Eddie in the first It, he also plays Freddie
Freeman.
from Shazam. Freddy, Eddie.
Did see Shazam, but yeah,
it's actually pretty good. I would suggest it. I know you haven't liked a lot of the DC movies coming out recently. Shazam's an exception.
Okay.
I know you didn't like.
Funny.
I know you didn't like Wonder Woman. I'm not going to talk about that right now.
We'll talk about that. We talked about that.
I'll let that.
Last,
I'll let
last
that one go. I'll let that one go.
We talked about it last year. I'm not going to let it phase me this time.
I won't let it upset me again. I won't get triggered again. No, but honestly, I think you might like Shazam.
Okay.
Or you might just fucking hate it.
It's
one of the two. You're gonna think it's pretty good, or you're gonna fucking hate it.
Yeah, it's one of those.
Okay.
Anyway, Jose, thoughts
on It Chapter 2?
Spoiler free.
Spoiler free. I would say that the beginning of the movie stays pretty true to the book.
Even the gay bashing scene?
Just let him finish.
That part probably not so much.
First impressions with like the trailer, like what your expectations were.
Well, from the trailer, like I as soon as I saw the trailer, I knew I wanted to see the movie. I really liked the casting for all the adults. As far as like who didn't really kind of fit in, like you guys said, I don't know if I'd agree with the Bill. Like you guys said, you didn't really like Bill
with James
that much.
McAvoy.
Yeah, I like the Bill casting. And then his wife, Audra, or I forget how to say her name. But yeah, I thought her casting was pretty good too. Overall, I think I would say the movie was good. If you've never read the book, the movie, of course, will be pretty good for you. I think the scares in this movie were honestly less scary than in Chapter 1. And maybe that's a good or bad. Maybe that's a good thing for you. You're not as scared, and maybe you continue the story a little bit more. But yeah, overall, I give this one a C.
We're gonna say that to the end. I was gonna say, do you like it or not?
Do you like it or not?
Do I like it? I kind of like it.
He liked it enough to watch it, so.
Okay. What about you? Did you like it?
Yeah, I liked it. I kind of didn't care that it wouldn't include the kids because I knew to an extent they might do like flashbacks or like unused scenes, right? Yeah. So, that was an expectation. For the most part, I like the casting. In my head, I'm kind of like, I want to see this play out rather than like interested in like the new actors playing the characters as grown-ups, or I wanted to see how they would fit that in. Because I another thing I wanted to compare it to was obviously the miniseries. I wouldn't like hold it to it, but I just wanted to see the differences for sure. Yeah.
All right, so we're jumping into spoiler review now. What the fuck was up with that scene with like the leper and then the "Just Call Me Angel of the Morning" scene? Yeah, it just came so out of nowhere.
Honestly, I liked that scene.
I thought it was hilarious, but it tone like, and I don't know how much of that like tone change was intentional, because some of those moments were hilarious, and I don't know if they were meant to be hilarious.
Yeah, I don't know.
The naked old woman.
Yeah, that was pretty fucking gross.
The fucking titties just like flapping around everywhere.
Fuck, what was that?
Honestly, the diner scene, was pretty funny too.
Okay, the naked lady, where was that?
Yeah, when Bev was trying to find her like artifact thing, or whatever. And
her token.
Her token. When she went back to the apartment that she.
Oh yeah, that part was creepy, but I thought it was kind of funny the way she was moving. She was like, "Wah!" And then she started moving and shit.
Yeah. Well, like when she became like the CG like naked like old lady.
That shit was weird. That wasn't even scary. That was just like, what the.
Yeah, I think I said that shit. I was like, what the.
Yeah.
I mean, I for sure jumped a little bit. I was like, what the fuck?
And that's part of what I'm saying. Like, it's not scary. It's, I don't know. It was
jarring. It
was jarring, and it was kind of goofy.
Yeah. I mean, I liked it. That's why I think I liked the movie so much. It's because it seemed like it was like, this shit doesn't scare as much anymore. Let's just lean into the ridiculousness of like what Stephen King wrote when he was on like way too much cocaine.
Yeah, I feel like that's the thing with it. Like in my head, I don't really see it as a scary movie. I just kind of see it like as an adventure. Where like specific movies try to scare. Like,
hey Jose, you gonna finish your beers yet?
Eventually.
Like specific movies like Insidious and The Nun and shit. Like those intentionally try to scare you. But I feel like this one's more oriented with like telling the story, and the scares are on the side.
Yeah.
I would agree with that. And that's another one of the reasons I didn't really like this adaptation. I think that they tried to stick too much to the book at times, especially the beginning where they're assembling the gang. Yeah. Right. I think they took way too much time assembling everybody.
You know what? It felt like the Avengers movie or the Justice League where they like assemble and try to get them, and it's like scene like, hey, can you get? But this one was like more direct, like just calling, like, hey, head over here.
I know it was just, hey, come over here, but like I honestly I feel like they could have skipped so much.
I feel like they could have skipped 2 characters and it would have been like understandable, like, oh yeah, I got to text this and that, and it would have been quicker.
What 2 characters do you think they could have skipped? Because I agree with you. I just want to see which ones you guys think we could have skipped.
I feel like Stanley, they could have skipped him getting the call and maybe just like jumped to him like in the bathroom or some shit like that, and then maybe another one would be like maybe Bill. No, not Bill, because then you wouldn't see his wife.
Yeah. Well, his wife is basically irrelevant in the movie.
Maybe like, Eddie. Yeah. Eddie, because he just got in a car accident. That's it.
Yeah. Maybe Eddie and Richie. You could have. Eddie and Richie.
I feel like Ben, Bev, and Bill for sure need to like have their introduction.
Yeah, because the
Bill's the leader. Ben, he's got the flame for Beverly, and Beverly has the most.
Well, with Beverly
has the most meat in her backbone and backstory, just because it's like
like how she's got like an abusive husband, and then Ben with just the fact that you got to see how much of a success he is now. So
but the other thing though is that the way that they treat the supporting characters, like they don't use them at all in the movie.
Yeah, because Bev's husband and Bill's wife in the book play a big role, don't they?
They do end up playing a big role.
Yeah, because they visit Derry while they're there, and they surprise him like, oh, what? I saw the Thug Notes video on it. So
the Thug Notes.
Oh, yeah. So Bev's husband,
So Bev's husband shows up.
No, it's not Bill Cosby. It's a thug.
Yeah.
Not a rapist.
Yeah, you just sounded like not a rapist.
Hey, don't fucking overtalk me on my podcast. I'm going to get real fucking pissed. I'll cut this shit out. Make you feel irrelevant. All right. What's another scene?
No, I think the thing they could have cut down the most is on everyone getting their
token.
Their tokens,
because it all did the same thing where it's like, go back to this old place. Flashback when they saw Pennywise.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Are you almost done?
Yeah, real quick. Flashback when they saw Pennywise, and then them in real life seeing Pennywise or some kind of scare. I feel like that got way too repetitive, way too quick.
It felt formulaic. It felt like fucking Marvel mode. Anyway, the fucking
shots fired.
Flashback scenes with the kids. In my head, I'm like, this 2 years later, the kids are obviously going to look older. When they talked and I saw their faces, I was like, yo, this is definitely CGI. Because that kid, Ben, he was in like Goosebumps 2 in like 2018, and It was in 2017.
Yeah.
So he like his voice got deeper and he got bigger. Like he looked more like less fat or less kiddish. So like they definitely CGI'd his face.
So he grew into his face, into his like his body weight basically. Yeah.
So
he actually pulled a real life Ben then.
A lot of them were CGI'd and their voices were changed.
Finn Wolfhard was for sure CGI.
Wait, they didn't film any of the stuff back then?
A lot of that was CG'd.
A lot of that.
Really?
Like I think the girl who plays Beverly, like I don't think she needed it that much because she's not that much younger.
Yeah. Okay.
So.
But let's see. What else do I think they could have cut down?
Oh, you know what part was funny?
Yeah.
When Mike and Bill meet, he's like, "Oh, I need to show you something. I need you to see what I see." And he gives him the water, and then Bill drinks it. And he's like, "What do I feel funny?" In my head, I'm in the theater with Christina, and I was like, and I was whispering, he's like, "I think he drugged him." I was like, I think he's about to go on a trip. And then we're just laughing the whole time. When he's like, "I just gave you a microdose," and they're starting to see shit. I was like, "Oh shit!"
He dropped him acid.
Yeah.
That shit was funny.
Honestly, I feel like they could have spent more of the screen time solving that mystery of how to defeat it.
The ritual chewed, yeah.
Yeah, and in the process of finding all of that stuff, they'd run into it as adults, like they had been. And then, of course, what's his name? The bully.
Bauer.
Oh yeah, that's right, Bowers. I forget what his last name is, but yeah,
Bowers is his last name.
Bowers, yeah. They could have had more scenes with him because he's chasing them a lot more in the book. There's a lot more of him in there, and I think because he was such a big driving force in the first half, it would have been good to see that force again in the second half.
Yeah, they kind of just got rid of him as soon as possible, huh?
Yeah. As an antagonist, they definitely got rid of him. And then the main antagonist was, of course,
Pennywise,
yeah, Pennywise. But that's the thing is that Pennywise acts through the people in the town.
Through people like Bowers.
Yeah, through Bowers. So and then you saw it.
He's kind of like like a plot-driven motivator. Like, how do you call it? Like passive character or something, like one that actively goes towards like to the story, whereas
he's
one
a passive character.
Passive character, right?
Something like that. Correct us in the comments if we're wrong, and also if you're listening, because that'd be nice if you guys were listening. Because
I think passive is the one where they're for the ride, whereas the other one is like they're intentionally like pushing things forward.
Active and passive.
Yeah, a good way to compare it is The Force Awakens. Rey is more like an active, whereas Jyn Erso in Rogue One is more of a passive because she's just kind of along for the ride.
Or like in the MCU that Tom Holland Spider-Man's passive, and the Tobey Maguire is active. Because no, Toby's also passive. I think it just kind of happens to him. No, Toby's passive. Tom Holland is active because he actively seeks it out. And then
kind of like how he actively
I feel like you're gonna say something
launched himself
backhanded.
to space, right? Because he followed Tony into space.
Okay.
That's him being very
That's
active.
true. I mean, if he was passive, it's like he would have not had a choice.
He would have like been in the battle, then got beamed up by accident.
Yeah, and that's him being passive. He
acted by holding onto the Doctor Strange's cape and being beamed up that.
No. He was active when Tony like.
And then when the suit came on, and then he stayed on there.
Yeah.
That's being active.
I mean, because he had a choice, but he decided to follow.
But so I was gonna bring this up too because I know you have feelings about this. A big stance. You know what I'm gonna bring up?
Yeah. I mean, I've kind of like had a discussion with my friend Gabriel about it.
Yeah.
And then he mentioned something, but I'll let you say it.
So basically, do you think Richie's gay?
Oh, for Eddie?
Not for Eddie,
just in general. I don't know, maybe.
Because here's the thing: there was that whole like flashback scene where he's in the arcade after like the gang broke up.
Oh, that's
he's
right.
Playing with the kid, and he's like, "Hey, you want to hang out?" He's like, "I ain't no derogatory term for like gay people."
You're cutting something out. He only said that because Bowers and his friends were like, "Oh, you trying to hit on my cousin?" The guy's like, "I'm not fucking gay," and then Richie's kind of like, "Oh shit," and then he just leaves.
And like he kind of like he's like a deer in headlights. He doesn't know what to say, and then he leaves and he cries outside, and then Pennywise shows up and scares him, and he's like, "I just literally shit my pants."
I just fucking realized the reason that movie did it feel so fucking long. I blacked out during that movie. I was like, "Whoa, where the fuck am I? I'm in the theater." It was a long movie, right?
It was very
3 hours. It was 3 hours.
Like you
basically.
said, all the introductions, all getting the tokens. It was just a lot to add on. But yeah.
But then there's a scene like in present day when like Pennywise is talking. He's like, I know you have a secret that you can't tell anybody. So like that hints a lot towards him being gay. Then there's the scene at the end after Eddie dies. Well, no, not even. There's a scene when he's a kid and he's like carving initials into like Makeout Bridge, and it says R+E, hinting that he has a crush on Eddie, which is why he took Eddie's death so hard. Not just because he was like a childhood friend, but because Eddie was the person he was like, "Oh, I really like him, I love him, whatever."
I think they were just really close.
That's what I was thinking too, because you said, I was like, oh, like you're kind of like you didn't want to seem like you were wrong when you were saying he's gay. Me personally, I had the same feels like, is he gay? But the reason I said he wasn't gay is because it never really confirmed it in the movie. And even with the R+E thing, he had a heart around it. Like in my head, I'm like, okay, they were just really tight because he did just die. So I was like, maybe they're just really tight. It doesn't mean that he wanted to fuck him. So
I don't know if you're right or wrong, but there's definitely merit in what you're saying.
No, that's why I believed he wasn't, because based on what the movie told me, it never hinted. Like, in a way, it hinted, but it never confirmed it. So it never gave me beyond a reasonable doubt to believe that he was gay.
Was it in the book at all?
No.
So then it might have just been... Yeah, okay. Then there's no confirmation, like you said.
Well, because I was talking to my friend Gabriel. We're at Halloween Horror Nights, right?
Yeah.
Christina's asking him. I was like, hey, do you think Richie was gay? And he's like, yeah. And then I started discussing with him. I was like, oh, I didn't say in the movie. And then he's like, in the book, it said he was gay. I was like, oh, okay, well, if you told me that, I would have believed you. Because with the gay bashing scene in the beginning, I was like, oh, this is so tasteless and this and that. But then when I found out it was in the movie...
Oh, the gay bashing scene, it is, straight up in the book.
But then when I found out it was in the book, and I was like, okay, well, I can't really say anything because it is in the book. Yeah, I know it was a different time, but I can understand it more rather than it being their choice.
Yeah.
So I was kind of like, oh...
that scene in the book is right at the beginning. Like, that's how the book opens up, basically.
Really?
An attention getter.
Mm-hmm. So what happens in the book, right, is the event is a flashback, like it's already happened. The guy that survived, he's like, the police are questioning him about the whole incident and everything like that, because they're trying to put the guys that beat him up, right, and threw him over the bridge, or his boyfriend over the bridge. They're trying to get him into jail. They're trying to prosecute them. for the most part, that scene plays out pretty much the same in the book.
Okay.
There's a lot of differences that I don't really remember that well. It's been a while since I read the book. I as far as Richie and Eddie being gay, there's nothing like that in the book.
You know what there is in the miniseries is that Eddie was a virgin the whole time, because in the miniseries,
I mean, that was obviously, you look at the character like, yeah, he's a virgin, because he just looked like nerdy, or like he never got laid. He just had that look on him.
Wait, Eddie, like older Eddie or young Eddie?
Older Eddie in the miniseries.
Yeah.
Oh.
There's a scene where he's just like, I never had sex with anyone because I never loved anyone as much as I love you guys. And you're like, fucking
what
virgin.
the fuck? Anyway, you know what? At the end of the movie, when Eddie died, I was like super sad. But then it took me like a day after I watched the movie. I was like, oh wait, he died in the miniseries. Like, how did I not remember that?
Did he?
Yeah, he dies in the miniseries.
He dies in all of them. He dies in the book, the miniseries.
No, you're right. He does that in the book.
Because in the miniseries, I think he's like a sacrificial thing to kill it. From what I remember, I haven't seen it in like 2 years.
It's been a while since I've seen the video talking about it.
As far as the book goes, there's not really a personal sacrifice or a sacrifice that has to be done. In the book, it's just a battle of wills.
By the way, in the book, there's a whole like chapter about like the ritual chewed, not just the ritual chewed, but also the turtle, right? Like the turtle that's basically the only thing that can go against it, or what's going on with that?
Okay. So I don't know if anybody watches the movie, you'll see that there's a couple turtles here and there. Yeah. You'll see them. The kids will have them, or they'll be around somewhere. And the reason there are turtles is because in the series, for it, right, in the books and various things that Stephen King has made references as turtle, and the turtle spewed out the universe. It's this
the Big Bang.
It's this giant space entity, this giant space turtle that vomited out the universe, and it the only things that really it fears is that turtle, and it's because the turtle could destroy it, but the turtle doesn't really like to meddle. It doesn't like to really help anybody. It kind of believes that things should just play out. It's not really a player. It's just kind of observing things.
Right.
But the duel that's supposed to happen is that isn't shown in any of the movies. In any of the recent movies, is that Bill. Because Bill has the most will, right?
Yeah.
I think we can all see he's the bravest one. He's the one who's always kind of leading the group. He's the one who ends up dueling it in this battle of wills, and he basically gets sent like through space and time, like flying, as he's dueling it, and he encounters a turtle, and the turtle tells him a bunch of things that would help him defeat it.
How are they dueling though?
They're it's hard to describe. They're kind of like fighting each other's minds. Like,
so it's almost like a force battle, like when like two people are like doing like the force push, whatever kind of thing, but like with their minds.
Yeah, what happens? Okay, so
it's like an anime episode where they're both like behind like a brightly like lit like primary background with like, I will defeat you. No, I will defeat you.
Yeah, but they both go blank. Like they're just staring at each other. Like, okay, you know how when Richie in the movie, he's staring at its mouth and the dead lights.
Yeah.
Right. It's just like that. So instead of Bill going instantly crazy, he's fighting the dead lights.
Oh wow.
He's fighting going into the dead lights. So they're both basically staring at each other, trying to overcome each other's like. It's almost like Bill is trying to kind of send it to its own dead, like to Bill's, like if Bill had dead lights, like trying to send him and trap it inside that.
So it's a little bit like the Harry Potter Voldemort fight at the end of the Harry Potter series, where they're just shooting beams at each other, kind of a thing. But like with the dead lights, and Bill's just straight up will. Yeah,
but Bill basically is losing super hard every single time, and it's only when the turtle helps him in the first time they duel it that he's able to actually overcome it. Okay. But the thing is that the reason that they're able to defeat it is because Bill duels it with his mind.
Yeah.
And the rest of the gang is on the outside hurting it. They're the ones trying to kill it on the outside while it's immobilized in its physical form.
Yeah.
But now that we did the deep dive there, any other thoughts?
I know. I think that's it. We can wrap it up with final thoughts now. All right. I said final thoughts. All right. So you give me.
It's like he's throwing up one of these. I liked it. If I was to recommend it to somebody, I would say if you like it, the first movie in 2017, I would say this is like slightly below that one because I know personally people like that one anyway. But I would say it's right under that one for sure.
Yeah.
So if it the first It was a 9, I would say this one's like an 8.5.
Okay, Jose, any final thoughts?
Well, I really liked the first one, the chapter 1. This one I didn't like so much. I felt like the scares just weren't there,
you sound like a Mexican eating tacos that weren't spicy. Es que no picaron, like it didn't burn my tongue. I didn't fart out flames. Like it just wasn't good.
Look, the cast was really good.
Tacos and Beer hasn't released yet.
But the movie was cheesy, guys, and it could have overcome that cheese by just playing off of the characters a little more.
The characters just being good actors.
Honestly, I realized that the best part about the movies were like the characters just talking to each other,
or which is them being actors.
Yeah,
the good actors.
Yeah, interestingly, that's the part that was most boring about the miniseries was the interactions between them, where they're like, "What do you mean, you blah blah blah?"
Yeah. Oh, another scene. Okay, one of the scenes that I actually did like, or one of the parts of it, was when Bill realizes that it is going to try to kill the kid.
Oh my god, dude!
Yeah.
In the funhouse.
Yeah.
The kid? No, I didn't think he was going to kill him. Yeah. Even with that girl with the scar, I thought it was makeup. But like when he killed that kid, I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, dude, he was he took bodies like a fucking.
He
took bodies like a frat dude.
He
like
was
slips roofies.
He was cracking necks and cashing checks, bro.
For real. No, but that scene with the kid was brutal because he's like, no, and then the bloodbath after when he actually kills him, I was like, damn.
And then the body just disappears.
Yes, that was definitely an effective scene for sure. It did everything that I think the rest of the movie should have done.
Yeah. I liked the movie. I thought it was okay. It wasn't as good as the first It, I think, but also rewatching the first It drags on a little bit. Whereas this It felt like it went on, like the pacing was pretty good.
Really, I didn't like the pacing in the second.
Although to be fair, I thought the first It was pretty good like that in theater. So I have to wait till I watch it again on home release to see how it really
I think the reason that you say the pacing was bad was because when we were watching it, the lights went out in the whole theater, and so did the projector. No,
you know what? I think the reason why I think the pacing might have been bad for when I watched it recently, because I watched it right before we watched it in theaters, but I think it's just because I was tired and I was a little sleepy, so I was like, fucking just All right, I'm gonna go take a leak. Jose, do you want to wrap up this podcast?
No, just wait until it's done.
No, you're right. It's only gonna be like another.
I hate when you do that. Just wait till it's done.
All right, so that was our review of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and It Chapter 2, and my brother scolding me for having a bladder. So
and
that's pretty cool.
This was
the Overanalyzer.
We'll see you next year.
Yep, when we review Tenet.
Tenet.
For sure.
Tenet?
Tenet or...
Dude, have you not...
Tenet or Dune.
Yeah. It was the thing that it showed like the preview of before It Chapter 2. Tenet? The new Christopher Nolan movie.
Oh, that's right.
Did you see that? You saw that, right?
Yes, it looks good.
Dude, right?
A few seconds and I'm fucking gushing.
Dude, I just saw the
name is kind of not really selling me on it, but everything else I saw,
I think that's just the fact that he wants it to be one name title.
I forget what the word is for.
Fucking gone with something else. Anyway,
I forget what the word is for like words that like if you spell them backwards, they're still the same, like race car.
I know what you're talking about, but
that's what Tenet.
The race card, yeah.
Anyway, so that was the Overanalyzer. Tell us what you thought about It Chapter 2 and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And once again, we're going to shout out one specific friend, and it's only valid for the most recent podcast, that we will buy them either 1 unit of alcohol, be that a 6-pack, 1 12-ounce bottle, or an actual like bottle of alcohol, or a gift card to their restaurant of choice. Jose, who's a friend you want to shout out for this?
Today, I want to shout out Michael.
Last name?
I don't know how to pronounce his last name.
Which Michael?
Michael in Ultra Gun. There we go.
Okay.
I want to shout out Gabriel and Josh. I'm still holding out hope. Don't let me die out here.
Okay. I want to shout out my friend Kevin Cotter. Miss you, buddy.
He's not coming back.
All right, so that was the video. Remember to hit that like button, hit subscribe, and please listen to the end because we will really appreciate it. All right, see you guys next time. I'm going to go take a leak.
Goodbye.